Hello and welcome back to another great episode of hashtag Screw the W2. And today's guest actually have another Marshallite on, Desiree uh, Petrish.
Dietrich.
Petrick. I went over off camera like three times how to pronounce this correctly, but Desiree, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You bet. So Desiree, I kind of asked this, have a similar, question list for all my guests, but for my listeners, can you take us back to, what was your previous W-2 job? What was it like? What was an average day like for you?
Yeah, so I started in healthcare. I did 10 years of that. And so when I went to the Chamber of Marshall, which is my most recent W-2, it was for love and passion,
Okay.
not money or benefits. It was absolutely out of a love for the job. And
Okay.
every day was completely different, which is why I loved it. I got an opportunity to network with all of the people in Marshall, which was amazing, and to build relationships, which is what I enjoy doing. So
Cool.
it was very different from what I originally started doing, but it was for the love.
All right. Sounds good. And for those listening, and I'm sure there's someone out there listening, where the hell is Marshall, Minnesota? We are nowhere near the Twin Cities. Everyone's like, how far are you from Minneapolis? Just think 60 miles from the Iowa border, 60 miles from the South Dakota border, home of Schwann's ice cream. That's what I tell everyone. So,
Yeah.
Desiree, now you obviously said, the job you had, it was your last W-2 job, you're passionate about it. You enjoyed what you did. You enjoyed the networking, meeting people in Marshall, etc. But what was like the moment, was it an I got to get out of here moment? I got to do something different. I mean, what was the next step of I've enjoyed the work I've done at the chamber, but I want to do something different?
Yeah. So to hopefully not make this story too long, but
No,
I'm
go
one of
ahead.
those, serial try and start my own business type of
Mhm.
things through the pyramid marketing companies. I've done the clothes, I've done the products, I've done the weight loss. And it was actually 4 years ago, I was doing beach body coaching after some success that I had had. And was really good at it, actually. The
Okay.
social media part of it kind of came easy to me, and I was already working out and eating healthy, so I was just sharing it. But my coach at the time said the thing that would change whether I was successful or not was whether I read personal development. And so I was working at an assisted living facility specializing in dementia, and I was
Okay.
reading personal development, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I can do more, I can see more, I'm excited. I kind of feel like I've maybe hit my lid here. And so it got me really excited to do other things. And that has continued. I've read 60 to 100 books per year for the last four
Wow.
years. And yeah, so it's just been kind of a natural progression, but it was an evolution that happened a lot more quickly than I anticipated. When my mom passed away last year, she left me a small amount of money. And it was like once that financial barrier was gone, it was not a question of whether I wanted to do something or not. And it wasn't a question of what I wanted to do. It was just a matter of doing it and
Gotcha.
doing it scared. So I went and got my LLC because there's no turning back after you do that. It's not
Yeah.
cheap. And so I went for training through the John Maxwell program. And so I am a certified coach, speaker, and trainer through that. I have started a leadership company where I get to go into businesses and speak on leadership, communication, relationships. And I never actually intended to leave the chamber. Like I said, I love it. It was
Mhm.
the perfect filter for me to continue to build relationships, but I think I underestimated how many people wanted me to succeed, and I have had just an amazing outflow from people of being willing to bring me into their businesses and trusting me to communicate with their staff. And so I have had
Wow.
a lot more success a lot more quickly than I anticipated, and so
Okay.
that is what made me ready to leave.
Gotcha.
Sorry, long story short,
No,
or
that's
not so
fine. Yeah,
much.
it actually touched base on, a number of other questions I asked my guests, but wow, I thought I was a bookworm. I started the 52 week reading challenge 2 or 3 years ago with Kindle, and it's like, well, I did 52 books, or I do 52 books a year, and you're like double that.
Yeah, I've got at least 6 or 7 books started at any given moment, so
Wow, yeah, same here, guilty. So,
mhm.
no, Desiree, when you had that, obviously the moment, and I, kind of started, yeah, with everything, and you know, again, sorry about your mom passing away last year.
Yeah,
Got to know
thank
her at
you.
my, previous W-2 job as well. But from that moment where, you had the idea, and like you said, the financial burden was gone, you made the other steps, you connect with other people. From that point to I'm fully committed, I'm 100% in this new venture. How long was that, or how long of a, time period was that?
Like 2 months.
Okay.
I think for like a month.
So, all right.
Yeah. It like I said, so I'm also certified to teach the DISC profiling system, and
Okay.
I am a high ID, which essentially means I'm aggressively friendly, but it also means that I am very, very quick to make decisions. I don't need a
Okay.
lot of research behind it. I don't need a lot of, ifs, ands, or buts. When I see something I want, I jump in, which is a pro and a major con sometimes, which is why I haven't been able to make any of the products or the clothing lines or anything
Mhm.
stick. But the difference with this one is this is not something else someone created. This is something I get to create. This is something I've been
Okay.
doing for a long time. And so using my fingers, this one sticks, but I'm
Perfect.
really excited about it and been having a blast.
Sure. Now with your, let's just say freedom time, 2023 dived into the, as a I'll just say serial entrepreneur. I think we've had that term float out on the show a couple of other times. But looking back, or whether it's your previous job with the chamber, or even, you said 10 years in the medical space, anything you do miss, will miss, have missed, or regrets from leaving the W-2 environment, so to speak?
I always told people that I had no interest in being my own boss. I wanted to go to work, have someone tell me what to do it really well,
Yeah.
and then go home and not think about it again. And I did that for 10 years in the
Okay.
healthcare space. But I think that as that personal development piece of it came in, I wanted to grow. And with businesses that are established, it's hard to, there's only so many C-suite positions,
Yeah.
and so it's like eventually you're going to hit that limit, whether it be monetary or whether it be just responsibility. And I think I'm going to miss the structure that comes with the W-2 job. I'm going to miss the coworkers in a space because as a aggressively friendly human, it gets to be a little lonely when you're at home by yourself.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I'm not leaving that environment either. I mean, I was a chamber junkie before I started my job there. I'm going to continue to go to all the events. I've
Sure.
created friendships, from those jobs. I still talk to people. Some of my best friends are from my previous jobs. So
Okay.
I like to think that I'm bringing enough of that aspect with me, but I definitely will miss the structure that it provides and
Mhm.
the guidelines that are set in place as to what you can and can't do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think and I'm just as guilty too with missing the structure, and uh drawing a blank. I know it's one of the sharks on Shark Tank. They said an entrepreneur is the only one that leaves a 40-hour work week so they could work 80 hours a week for half the pay or something along those lines.
Yep, to work a whole heck of a lot harder, that's for darn sure.
Exactly. So now,
Yeah.
Desiree, for anyone listening out there, maybe, they've listened to my story, they've listened to your story, or any of the other guests we've had on this show where, maybe they love their job, but something different comes along, or they hate their job, they want to get out but for whatever reason, they just feel stuck in their current situation, their current job. What words of advice or maybe words of encouragement would you give to any of my listeners to make that leap of faith to pursue their dreams, start their own business, become self-employed, whatever it is that they're looking at?
My advice is probably going to be something people swear at because it's not something that can be done in the spur of the moment. My husband and I live an extremely simplistic lifestyle.
Okay.
We buy our cars in cash, our house is paid off because it's
Oh
very
wow.
small. I have zero student loans because I put every single cent that I made, 5 years ago into paying them off. And so my advice is don't have debt. It's not easy. You know, I am extremely fortunate to, they say there's a silver lining when someone passes away, and I will never say that it was worth it, obviously. I mean, I miss my
Sure.
mom and she's why I do what I do, but when she passed away, I did receive some monetary ability to do
Hmm.
what I wanted to do. And so, my sisters also received that money and they haven't decided what to do with it yet. And I wanted it to mean something. I wanted it to be her legacy and mine. And
Hmm.
so I I say use your money wisely, and we don't really spend ours. My husband is also an entrepreneur, and so we neither of us have a schedule. We have two young kids.
Hmm.
We kind of do what we want when we want, and
Yeah.
we work when we need to. So that's not a luxury a lot of people have.
Hmm.
I went out to supper with some friends last night, and they're like, "Give me your money tree," and I'm like, "It's non-existent."
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find it, let me know. But I think we've created a lifestyle that allows us to kind of take some risks and be a little bit more freeform.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Yeah.
I
And
don't know if that was advice.
no, no, that, yeah, no, if it's like good, and yeah, whether you said just maybe high level, keep your finances under control, and I think there is a lot of benefits too. Like you said, not having having a lifestyle where you can do what you want when you want. I mean, myself, my wife, and our son just got back from a 17-day road trip, and I was thinking back, it's
Mhm.
like, gosh, I remember back in the days I'd have to, beg, borrow, and steal because, like, well, it's past my 2 week vacation allotment. Can I do some paid time off, unpaid time off, sick leave, bribe, whatever to get that extra 5 days? So, but now, Desiree, as we finish this out, I kind of call this the new hashtag unscrewed moment, where I just kind of basically hand you the microphone, and obviously you shared your story and where you're going, but where can people find out more about you, what you're doing to help businesses, learn more about you, what projects you're working on? I mean, basically the floor is yours at this point. So,
Awesome. Well, in that case, um, so I have really dug into the John Maxwell piece of things. And
okay,
so the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, the 15 laws of growth, the 16 laws of communication, he likes his laws books. He likes the
and the
numbers. But
numbers too.
yeah, they are amazing pieces of information to bring to your staff. But
Okay.
I have been learning for a long time and I have failed hard and been able to come back. They say that when a tragedy strikes, you can get back to 80% of the happiness level that you were at before
Mhm.
within a year. And so, one of the main things that I talk about in the content that I have created is how to front load your life, how to build a life of financial freedom and health and wellness and knowledge through books and podcasts. And that's the content that's extremely close to my heart is
Okay.
how to front load your life, how to build those building blocks that you can pull on in times of hardship. And so on all of my social media platforms, you can find me on LinkedIn, Desiree Petrick. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Intentional Action. Those are the things I talk about. I
Okay.
share the people that are learning, not from me, but from the content from what I've learned. It's why I do what I do. I want to share how to be happy at home, at work, and all of the bits and pieces that go into making sure that that can happen. So.
Well, sounds good. So, and again, for all those listening, I'll have links to all those in the show notes, so you can reach out and connect, like I said, on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever social media of your choice is, or whatever social media platform might be out there by the time someone's listening to this. So,
Yeah.
with that, yeah, Desiree, thanks again for coming on and sharing your story, and best of luck on your new business venture.
Absolutely. Thanks, John. I appreciate it.